Having a plan to bug out, a plan to get to a retreat, a plan to be somewhere in case there's a situation at your home or residence where you need to get out. And having that backup plan is really important for survival. Even Homeland Security suggests that you have some things together in case there's an environmental accident or even a man-made accident or a terrorist attack. Now, we have a group of people that work together on certain things for prepping, being prepared for some kind of disaster, or whether it's natural or man-made. And so recently we took our group and we had a time and we set it, and I said, I'm going to text you, and when I do, and I sent out a text to the entire group, and I said, you have 45 minutes to pack your stuff up for a 72-hour period and meet at a certain location. Okay, we got the crew here.
This guy before too, I don't remember.
Scott.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Don't put a past Shannon.
Now, of course, if you're bugging out, you need to have your family with you. That's really important. There were a lot of kids at the event, and really it was pretty exciting. And what was really cool about the whole thing was it gave everybody a bit of confidence, knowing that if something were to happen, they would have a place to go and they would have a plan in place. Of course, there were some real basics. Of course, we looked at a 72-hour period. If you can live the first 72 hours of any crisis situation, that your chances of survival dramatically increase. So having a retreat and somewhere to go is also very important. A lot of people have a bug out plan just to get out, but then what? And they don't really know where to go. And so that is another thing that we've done, is to have a retreat location marked for everyone to hit. Now, if there is a terrorist situation, one of the protocols is to have cell service interrupted for a period of time. And that's in case there's some communications going on with terror organizations. Of course, the federal agencies will still have their cell and be able to get in touch in their communications. Having the plan preset doesn't require necessarily communications to get to a certain point. And that's part of the exercise. Now, of course, we had basics, which were a good sturdy backpack in case you had to abandon your vehicle, enough food, water, and supplies, including a change of clothes for 72 hours. And that includes a toiletry kit, it includes a first aid kit, but it also includes your self-defense option. And you need to have self-defense in your option. Everyone in our group has their concealed carry permit, so we will be able to carry a handgun on our bodies, even if we're traveling on foot. Now, of course, we went into each car and we looked at the different things that they had, went through to make sure that they were prepared, and if there were any holes that they needed to fix. This deal was not to grade each person, but to let them know that here's some things that you need to consider. And it was really neat to see what each person brought to the table. Everyone had a different idea, a different philosophy around their bug out system, and so it really gave us all a very well-rounded system to look at. All right, I'm standing here with Engineer 775, and we're getting ready to go through each and every vehicle and go through just the high points and see what they have. So what are some things, Scott, that we need to be looking for?
I think we got a pretty basic checklist tonight, and so we're just going to be looking for their water, the ability to stay dry, clothing, tools, first aid kits, just basic bug out bag list.
This is our first time to put this together,
right.
And so we're just going to put it. We have a lot of people wanting to look and watch this too, so we got to keep a low profile. What we want to do is we're going to go through a certain little checklist.
This is Susie's bug out bag.
I see.
You don't have to put them on.
I know.
Okay.
This one is my bug out bag, and then this is our first aid kit, but it's set up where we could grab other things and put them into our bags. All of our bags have smaller modular first aid kits, but
That's the big one.
if we're traveling in a car, not walking anywhere, we
Keep that.
have that set up.
Okay, so you have fire starting capability in there as well in your bag.
I have 3 different types of ways or more to start fire. I have 3 different types of ways to acquire water. I have a stove in one of those kits, and I have a rocket pot or pocket rocket in my bag. Car kit here.
Yeah, exactly.
All my tools are in here. I have some tarps, flares. If I need to get some gas, you can get that little gas kit. This primarily stays in the car all the time.
What about maps?
Maps, I've got those.
Yeah, not just
Where I've got
GPS, but maps
No,
themselves,
map.
right?
Yeah.
You got
blanket in here, emergency radio, burn kit. I've got food here. My kids can't carry guns, obviously, but my kids can swing a bat because I'm a baseball coach. Kids have their own bug out bags ready to go. They've got clothes in here, obviously, too. Fire starting capability just because it's extra for me to carry that I don't have to carry.
Right.
They have their own water bottles. I think they're the platypus containers. And hat, scarf, gloves. Obviously, you can't fit the boots in there, but that's ready to go pretty much at all times. I have food and there's another one there, so that's it.
That's good. Very good. Very good.
Got something to sleep. A sleeping bag. Got maps. Got some rope. This is stuff I carry on fishing trips. Do a lot of canoeing in places. Space blanket, hand warmers, Tylenol, Benadryl, stuff like that. You know, just basic. Yeah, I won't open it up and go into it, but I've basically got food, water, clothes, the usual.
How much water?
I don't know. It's about this big.
Right.
It's probably not 72 hours, but it's what I had.
Right. Right.
And
But even if you don't have it stored, do you have a filter or anything else that you can get water
I
with?
do not.
Okay. It's hard to carry 72 ounces of water.
It is. It is. That's a lot. That's the filter, honestly, is the way to go. And I got some magazines. You know, some 9mm magazines, 7.62 by 3.9 magazines for my guns if I, had them. And that's pretty much as prepared as I have gotten.
Okay.
so
Well, that
far.
is your bug out bag. So there you go. All right. Good. Very good.
Basically, with just John and I together tonight, we both have our tubs. I think this is his, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
We have jackets and sweatshirts. We both have a backpack, but this is his, and it's kind of like he said with the kids that can't carry weapons, but he's got clothes. He's also got a backpack that's got a water.
Camelback.
Yeah. He's got his machete, and he's got duct tape and rope.
About 50 feet
and
of rope.
a couple of knives and things like that in there. We've got food, and then he's got his bow and arrow and a couple other little tools and stuff. First aid kit
Cool.
and medication and stuff in there. This is just a rain suit that would also serve as a tarp. It's like a double X, so I don't know exactly how big it is. This is just an extra backpack that I keep in the truck with me all the time. It's got water, it's got extra clothes, paper towels, wipes for the kids, a couple of snack packs, scissors, brushes, and toothbrushes and things like that.
Very good.
Okay. Got some water in the back.
Yeah, that's just representative of what I would have. But
Right.
I keep my concealed weapon. I keep ammo and extra ammo up there.
Right.
These are diet bars, but they're actually pretty nutritious. They got a lot of protein and stuff in them, so I just stuck this in here. Blankets. Got two, yeah, they're rolled up. Got two things of rope here to go like with the tarp and stuff if I need it. Got a knife to cut it with. This is my big pack.
saw
This
the
is.
Yeah. We saw the knife.
There's one in here too, almost like that. Got a shovel that unfolds.
Great.
But I've got a shovel here. So
Very good.
Got my clothes bag, all my extra clothes in it. Got my bug out bag with my map. Got my Berkeley filter water bottles in there, my first aid kit, and fire starter in there. Some ammo, some knives, and I have my water. Have some few hand tools, and I have my sleeping gear.
That's right, guys. And you got this for Nancy, who's down with her dad. So you got that covered. Good.
Yep.
And the Berkey Sport bottle is a.
Yeah, they're nice. I got some for my mother-in-law. Yeah, that's
Good. All right, good. And yeah, duct tape. That's even.
That's mastic tape.
Yeah,
right there. It don't come off.
Very good. Very good.
If we get to use a vehicle. If not, I've got bug out bags. This one's mine. It's got mine and Caleb's food. And it's got the, what did we get from you?
The SOS bars.
SOS bars. I got 3 packs of those in here. and it's got my fire starter. I want to get me a Berkey, the Berkey bottles. I got this, and I've got the trash bags in case we have to sleep on the ground somewhere. And then I've got some antibiotic stuff in there, like the wipes, and then I've got my survival book. Got some water in here, and there's my bars, and then I've also got some Cliff bars. It's my fire starter. I don't know if there's anything in there or not. And then I've got some lighters in here. And let's see what this is. That's my
Multi-tool.
yeah.
Very good.
So that's mine, and mostly Caleb's in there. Got a little bit of rain gear, I think, here. Just some little cheap ones. I got some extra batteries. Got some ammo for my 9mm that's in my. Got a couple knives. Looking into getting me some survival knives. These are Caleb's. First aid. I've got some first aid stuff.
Oh wow, yeah.
What's that? Our jackets. All 4 of them.
Well, there you go. You got a whole bunch
Water.
of water.
I got a lot of water over here.
Oh wow, yeah. There we go.
And my blankets. And I have a toiletry bag in here also. I don't know where's that. Right here.
Okay, good.
Got all of our deodorants, toothpaste, stuff like that in it. That's it.
Very good. Very good, Pam.
I took mine from a couple of different angles. Assuming that we have the ability to drive, and there's nothing wrong with that, then I've got a different place where I keep a tub of food, keep extra ammo, guns, places like that, where I can drive to it and get it pretty quickly. But when I considered the bug out bags, I took it from the perspective of worst case scenario. I'm at the office, my wife is at her office downtown, and we have to walk to get our kids. So I wanted to make everything as compact as I could. So I've got mine and my daughter's stuff in here. My wife has her stuff and our son's stuff in here. If I pulled all this out, there's a couple of things that I know are lacking right now. I don't have a medical kit in here right now. She has a medical kit in hers. She has one way to make fire. I've got 2 different ways to make fire. I've got 38 hollow point rounds in a 9mm, and I've also got a knife for defense. Trying to be as compact as possible. I didn't want to really fool with certain things like a sleeping bag. That would be nice to have, but in a bind, you're not always going to have that. So in both bags we have tarps. We have a large piece of plastic to put down on the ground. We have 2 space blankets each. I've got 2 large industrial strength trash bags, paracord, and bungee cables to make a tent. Put on the ground. I've got 32 ounces of water, emergency water in here, plus a 2-liter platypus. She's got 2 liters of water in here, plus I think about 20 ounces of water in emergency packs. We focused our food on being as tight and compact as possible. So we have SOS food bars in there, we've got Cliff bars in there, we've got protein bars in there. It would be nice to have MREs. I've got a couple of pouches. She doesn't have any in hers. We've got everything from duct tape to hand warmers to lamps. We both have 2 different sources of light in here. We've got a multi-tool in each one of these. And there's a change of clothes, both for, she has hers and our son's, I have mine and my daughter's. It's really for the sole purpose that my daughter is right around up the street from where I am, so I can get to her quicker.
And the ages of your kids?
My daughter is 4, my son is 8. Clothes, we got the gloves, we got the hats, we have thermal shirts to put on. Everything that you would need in order to stay warm. Wool socks. So we have a couple of glow lamps. We have each of us has a toiletry bag. She has a Diamondback DD9 that she has. She's going to be carrying in her car anyway. She has a concealed permit, so she's going to be carrying that, and it'll be in her car. I have a Ruger SR9 that I carry in the truck with me all the time. So As far as food, shelter, water, and a way to defend yourself, we have all of that in there.
Flashlights?
Flashlights, I've got 2 in here. She's got 2 in there. A headlamp and a flashlight.
In here I've got a fleece jacket, blanket, water, soaps, shampoos, protein bars.
Very good.
More water on the side pack. Notebook, ammo, headlamp, pen, small water bladder, thick jacket. Not that it's needed in January right now. A good knife. Got a few carabiners, paracord bracelet, flashlight, a fillet knife, a fish, more water, toilet paper, toothbrush, sewing kit, pens,
Signal mirror?
signal
radar
mirror, sanitizer, gloves, more ammo, Tylenol, SOS bar, an open Band-Aid from fixing Caleb up one night, petroleum jelly, a lighter, sanitizing wipes, motion sickness medicine, lip balm. And here I've got a folding shovel and pickaxe, more SOS bars.
Oh, you got some shoes in there.
I
That's
got a
good.
pair of boots.
Very good.
At the bottom I've got a change of clothes, another toothbrush, signal whistle, compass, watertight. There's a match in there as well. This one, I've got a portable stove that has charcoal with it, ready to go. Water purifying tablets. Another first aid kit. Some rope. Some face mask. In here, I've got a bunch of protein bars.
Oh, very good.
It's just, I keep in my car all the time. So, ice scraper.
Use that as a self-defense weapon.
Yeah, that's what Jonathan said. More toilet paper, a screwdriver, jumper cables here, and then I've got a toolkit under here.
Very good. All right, what we got?
Alright, we got bug out gear. These are stay in our closet. So I've got a change of clothes, I've got a poncho, I've got water that's ready to go, and I also have Berkey water filter. I've got the some little quick soups. The MREs are in here, those
SOS bars?
Yeah, the SNS bars. Maps. I did make a copy of like social security cards and birth certificates of everybody's in both mine and Dietrich's bags.
Hey, guys.
I got a little cooking stove and fuel. You gonna do your bag too, buddy? Multi-tool matches. And I also have one of the big lighters like for a grill.
I have some little water.
Good job.
Awesome.
Some medicines. I have several flashlights.
That's not yours, is it?
Paracord. That's MJ's, baby. Put that back in there. I got hand warmers, the blankets, sunscreen.
And here's in this diaper.
Those are the little quick ones.
A bunch of those, and
Compass.
they're
I got
fully
extra
destroyed.
ammos,
They're
extra
not-
batteries,
so
extra pocket knife.
There's nothing to it.
Hey, Mommy, what's this?
That's hand warmers.
And this is hand warmer.
I've got first aid kit here. I also grabbed several of Dietrich's kits. They're in the car. Toiletry supplies. Hey, you don't have to get all that. The kids' bags.
And they know what's in them, too. I love that.
Yes, he's in charge of their changes of clothes. They have a large trash bag for protecting against rain or if we're laying on the ground. He has water and he has an MRE in the front pack. Dietrich's bag is here. With him being at work, the plan would be for me to grab our stuff and him get to us. So he has MREs in here. We both have MREs in our bags and the SNS bags. He has a survival book. He has, I don't think what they're called now. A cat tourniquet and another tourniquet in here. Large jug of water in here that was like a liter. IV supplies with fluids. He has paracord and he has, I don't even know what all, but he's got all kinds of flashlights and maps and more of the blankets and that kind of stuff in here.
Then he's got the Berkey Sport on the side.
Yep. And I think this bag also has a bladder in it where he could hook up a bladder and have the hose, you know, where you drink from it while you have it on. This is my new bag. I'm very excited. Extra coats for us. I did forget Dietrich, so, you know, he does usually have a work coat with him. I grabbed our extra ammo. I didn't grab all of our ammo, but I basically grabbed several boxes of each of our guns. He keeps his 45 in his truck, so I grabbed his 40, my 380, and my 38 stays in my car. So I grabbed ammo for all the guns that we would technically have on us.
And TP, which is a really important thing to include.
Grabbed a random pot. I tried to grab food that would be easy to prepare. Boil a bag. I tried to grab some stuff that had meats in it. Out of our supply, vegetables, I grabbed these canned vegetables, some canned tuna fish and chicken.
Another Berkey Sport, that's
Yep.
good.
We have 3 of those all together. I tried to grab food that you just had to add water to.
Oh, and applesauce, that's a great idea.
Yeah, applesauce, some canned fruit, peanut butter is something I thought would be good. I grabbed 2 sleeping bags out of the attic. I have a bag in the center, there's a center console that has some extra water, and I have an extra flashlight in the car, and a pair of boots and wool socks and stuff in there. So
Very good, very good.
I grabbed 4 of Dietrich's packs.
That's right, Skinny Medic. We have his first aid, his first responder kits. We have to do those.
So, prepared on the medical supplies.
Got my well drilling rig.
And this is what you carry in your car at all times.
This is what I'm in my truck all the time. If I have to fly, I have to take certain things out of here that I don't, that aren't legal to carry. So, no. Glock 17. I've got a 38 that I carry all the time in the truck. Water, I love these. These are Life Straw. You can do about 260 gallons of water through this, and it fits in a pocket. So you can get any source of water. Usually where I find myself, I can always find water. So I don't carry a lot. I do have some water bottles, but I figure I can always find a source of water. And I've got a Catadine I've used a lot. I like the Catadine pumps are great. Life Straw. I've got somewhere in here I've got a spade, which is a solar pasteurizer, so I can pasteurize water too using a water bottle. Commo, just a little radio. Just want to pull all this stuff out. Compass. Most important document, of course, is that. And I got a couple different, just simple first aid kits, and then I've got plenty of ammo in here. Passport, identification, fire starting, a lot of what everybody else said, emergency blankets. My wife's a pharmacist, so I got tons of antibiotics and all sorts of stuff in here. Clothes, change of clothes, gloves. These are really good. The maps, the Delorme maps.
Oh yeah, the big ones, yeah.
Yeah. All sorts of drugs. Just kidding, just antibiotics mostly.
Yeah, this is going on YouTube.
As I saw, everybody else has these too. Basically the 72-hour worth of food. Got some pouches, some Mountain House. Like to eat hand warmers. Got to have a way to make electricity for me. That's just this is a power pot. You can set it on any type of fire and make electricity to charge phones, charge batteries. Brought up. I don't know if you've seen these, a firebox stove. This is it's a little heavy for a bug out bag, but it's kind of neat. It's just called a firebox stove, and so I can take and set the power pot on top. If I have water, and then I can make about 5 watts of electricity any time of the day. So I can charge a cell phone, keep that going, charge AA batteries, whatever. Flashlights, headlamps. Always more of a get-home bag, I guess, than a bug-out bag, because I know where I want to go. I mean, I got bug spray, insect repellent, fires, a couple different ways to start fires. Always got my lighter with me, and I guess it's more of a get-home bag than it is a bug-out bag. And it's in my truck. My truck's full of tools too, so I don't have that. I got a multi-tool in there, a couple Leathermans, and I guess that's about it. Change of clothes, but picked up some good ideas from everybody. Everybody sees what everybody else has, so it's great. It's like, I need that. I need to put that in my bag. So good stuff. So I guess the only thing that I have a little bit different would be that. Life Straw is really neat, and the ability to charge some things. We're so dependent upon electricity to That's the best. That's the most power I've found using a fire in a bug out bag type scenario is to use that.
That's
power
awesome.
pop.
Have
So-
you reviewed that? I think you have.
Yeah, and I've tested it and it works. It's better than a BioLite.
Yeah.
And in terms of amount of power it makes, plus you're heating water anyway, and I can then use that water for my food, my pouches, or sanitation, whatever. So that's it. Nothing fancy. Again, enough I feel to get me home.
Right. And that's, well, really, you know, if it's a get home bag or a bug out bag, usually you're headed to a place.
Yes,
So that's really the big thing.
exactly.
So whether it's a retreat or heading home, you're heading to a certain location.
All right. First thing is the bug out bags, and what I've done is I won't necessarily go through each one, but I tried to put together one bag for each of the family members, making sure that number one is water. You live 3 days without water, so that's a really important element that we need to cover. And having a way to filter that water is super important. The Berkey sport bottles, we have one for everybody in the family, and so that's the most critical part. And one thing that everybody was of course, having a good field knife. One thing that I do like, I like these little compression bags to put your clothes in. It keeps them dry, it keeps them wet. In fact, I took these and dropped them down in the pool, and for about 5 minutes and pulled them out, and they were holding up well. And one important thing is to keep an extra pair of socks. Food bars, and I know we'd ordered a case of these. I think we need to probably order another case of them, split them up, do whatever. One thing that I really use a lot of are the big, really serious. This is an MRE that I've got, and I've got it wrapped around with this heavy meal trash bag, and this is one of the industrial. It's the ones you get at Lowe's. It's like super thick, and you can use this for cover, for tarp. Use it on the ground if you have your sleeping bags or whatever. Headlamps are important. First aid kit. I do have a first aid kit in the front part. But the big thing is I try to do is get the water, some food, and first aid, and then something to keep you warm, because it's it's the rule of threes. You're talking about you live only 3 hours in extreme temperature, so you need to make sure that you have something to keep your body warm from hypothermia, and then 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and so just basing on that. And of course, first aid is at any time. This does have a water bladder in it, and carrying some water, and it's like Scott mentioned a minute ago, carrying water, you really need a gallon of water per day per person. That's minimum. I mean, that's not bathing or anything, but to drink. So carrying 15 gallons of water is, it's just, for a family, it's just too much. So having a way to filter your water is one of the most important things that needs to be considered for bug out bag. With smaller children, which Grant's 9, so I've got a really small little bag for him. I do have some survival items in here, like how to start fire and a knife and a whistle, in case he gets separated. And one of the things that's really important is about your kids is having them prepared, because they can get, you think, I will never separate myself from my children. But we were at Disney World one time, and Seth was across the way, and we were over here, and all of a sudden, I said, Seth, come here. And this door opened up, and about 500 people came out and walked through between us. You never know when you could get separated. So having your children being able to, for them just to survive.
If they had radios, FRSs, even if you had a better radio, you can still use your cable. You have a 6G.
Yeah,
you can use that, and they can have the FRS that'll walk the phone, and everybody can stay in communication with each other.
right. The little, the handheld, the little family radios, which I have them. Actually, I have some in here, and then we took some and put them in our little cache, our storage cache. So, but having those, they're not that expensive. But one thing you need to know is you can look at that, and it'll say 6 miles or 20 miles or whatever. That is a bunch of bull.
Two tops.
Yeah, it's mainly line of sight.
Yeah.
So buy those just for close communications, but your ham radios, in fact, I worked with my buddy Day, and we're going to be getting all that really connected, and then Scott, you've already got a system to get for our ham radios. Okay, those are my bug out bags. But then I went ahead and brought some sleeping bags, and some of these are really good sleeping bags. Some of these are not so good. I do have a
SOS emergency space bivy, which is like a space blanket, but it's a lot tougher. You can reuse it a number of times, and it'll reflect your body heat. That's important. A lot of these space blankets are really just mylar material, and while they can help, but they're very limited and they can tear. So, you know, that's one thing you need to really kind of having a little space blanket in your little survival kit's good, but having something a little bit upgrade. I think those bivvies are like $30. And I mean, they're just like a sleeping bag. Now, one of the things too is because I'm in a truck or we're in a vehicle, you can pack a little bit more than you can just to put on your back. Here's the thing, if you really need to, and I know Joel mentioned this a minute ago, but if you really need to, just abandon it. I mean, you know, if you just can't carry it, I mean, if it comes down to your car breaking down or you're just running out of gas or whatever, then, you know, you don't really have too much. But when you pack that pack, and that's another thing I've heard people say, well, you're going to walk so far and then you're going to be tired. Well, then throw it out and keep walking. So don't be so worried about having the lightest, tiniest pack you can have and just a very few supplies. Sometimes if you have the room, pack it out. And then just leave it if you have to. Now, and this is a tent, which I'm speaking of which. Now, one thing that I do have, and a lot of us in our cars have, is a toolbox. And I do have, and I've done a review on this actually. This is my emergency car kit, and there's some just essentials if I'm in an emergency in my car. And I even have a flare gun in here with flares. I have a really nice space blanket in here. One of those Frontier filter straws. You can filter 20 gallons of water just with that filter straw. There's a lot of neat things in there. One of the things we did though is toilet paper. And we put toilet paper in here, and what else did you put in here? Toiletries. So the 2 T's right here. And that is, now one thing we carry this everywhere we go, is our medical kit. And Shannon being a nurse, you know, we live out of this thing. We're always using it for different things. Like when we go with groups, like we were with a youth group the last weekend, you know, this comes in. I have a couple of these food kits. Again, if it's a 72-hour and I've got to get on foot, I'm not going to lug these things around. But for me to bug out and try to get to a point, I've got to at least live 72 hours. We will go ahead and get this because when we're heading to wherever we're heading, which is a retreat, having some food there helps. We have water. We have some regular water. We have just some gallon water. Actually, we went ahead, we've got our clothes here, a change of clothes if we need it. And then in here, I just stored up extra food. There's just a bunch of food. Most of this stuff is easy to process. It's real easy to just throw into a pot if you need to, or you can just eat it. And then one thing we do have though, which I brought, is our little mini stove, and we had extra propane for it. So, it's just according to the situation. I think the big thing is being very versatile. And this is, even though this is a bug out situation, if we had to go on foot, a lot of this stuff would be left where it is. But if we could stay in our truck and get to that point, then we have extra gear here. Of course, I am armed, so, and extra ammunition we do have in the bags. And, one of the things too is to consider is that if you have a rifle in your vehicle and you have to ditch your vehicle, and you may or may not be able to carry a rifle. That's why I have my AR pistol, because it's kind of small, and then I have my concealed carry, so I can conceal my AR pistol. It'll go in my backpack. As Scott was saying, maps. Listen, GPS in a grid down situation, a number of different grid down situations, you're not going to have GPS. You may not even have phone service at all, like we talked about with the terrorists. They shut down the phone service. Having hard maps could be critical. We're talking about entrenched little tools and shovels. This is just a little military shovel. And these are surplus, so you can get these fairly reasonable. A lot of times at military, you can get them on eBay even. But you're talking about being able to,
Gray Eagle sells those.
those terrorists over there. Come here, you can also use this as a weapon.
Just wave at
If you get the dollar trowel, the plastic trowels, they're tough as nails. I used one on the job the other day just to tighten the place. I mean, and they're like, obviously that's heavy compared to a little plastic trowel, and they're tough. I mean, they're really hard to tear up.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
That can act as a axe too.
Yeah.
It's a saw.
Saw, axe. It's incredible.
But it is heavy.
It's heavy though. Yeah.
But I keep this in
Really
my
heavy.
truck, and but the other thing is it has the alligator. You can actually put this on your pack. So I really like this. You really need something bright so you can do this. You can shoot across the road there. Look.
Oh, goodness.
That's cool.
Cause a wreck.
Cause a wreck. I should have shined it on those people staring at us. Other thing is this can be used as a weapon. But having a good flashlight is really important. An extra battery. Okay. Well, good. Good. Now, a lot of times people like to have their packs as light as possible. And that is important if you are walking, if you are heading to a certain location. You need to keep that pack light and have just the essentials in your pack. But one of the things you need to consider is maybe having some extra starting out, because you can always take things out of your bag. If you have extra stuff in your bag that you don't need, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now, having extra gear in your truck, having more things than you would need just in a 72-hour bag could be very useful, because you may be able to get to your retreat location in your vehicle. But if you can't, you can always ditch the other and then head out on foot. So having a plan and having your bug out gear together is important, but it's really good to be able to get out and exercise with it. Put it in your truck or your car, go to a certain location, put it on, and see how it fits, see what you need. And doing these little projects really help in getting you confident and getting you prepared in case you have a bad situation. Now, I want to thank everyone that participated in this exercise and made it such a success. In fact, it was so much fun that we've already planned another one in the next couple of months to our retreat location. So having the gear you need, knowing what you need, and just putting it together is a huge hurdle. But it's great to have a plan and to get out and to understand your gear. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.
Okay, we're finished here. Let's go eat.
Isn't that why we're here?
Yeah, I thought that was it.
Don't put a past Shannon.